everybody. We're back full force, episode 266. Suck our dicks. No, not really, but sorry. I had to. So, anyways, I'm Bryce. I'm an asshole. This is Mike. This is Rick. We're here. We're here this week because Mike won't be here next week.
I know.
You won't be here next week?
No. We're gonna be in Vegas, bro.
Oh, that's right.
Y'all asses should be there too, but I understand.
So, thank you for joining us here live on Twitch.
Cheesy, meet me in Vegas, bro.
He was in Vegas. Were you on that? He was in Vegas when Rick and I recorded.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, was he?
Oh,
shit.
From there. You guys just missed each other.
Damn it.
Anyways, thank you for joining us here on Twitch. If you're here watching us on Twitch, then you know how to find us. And if you didn't, then just know that on Saturday, at some point on the weekend, usually on Saturday, we fucking record this.
Cable
on
hours.
Twitch.
We have cable hours.
Okay? So it happens at one point or another. You will be notified on all the appropriate social media networks. If you missed us on Twitch, then you can catch us on Tuesday, where you can listen to our sweet, sweet voices. And then if you wait a little bit longer, around noon, definitely around noon, you can see the first clip of the week. And then there'll be another clip on Wednesday, sometimes two on Thursday. Sometimes Rick likes to throw a fucking curveball. Monday morning.
Sometimes
clip,
he gets a wild
Monday
hair up his asshole.
Clip,
It's
and then the whole full
motherfucking
show will be on Friday.
Yeah.
So that's the deal. That's the spiel. I'm still rhyming, apparently.
That's the deal. That's the spiel.
How's everybody doing this week?
Good.
How about them Eels?
How about them Diamondbacks?
Eels?
I don't know. I'm trying to keep the rhyme going.
Yeah, baseball's back. I love it.
Baseball is back.
So happy that baseball's back.
Yep.
It's fantastic.
Go Giants.
Angels are playing right now. Giants are fucking 2-0.
Yeah.
Diamondbacks are 2-0. Angels are
1-1.
So
Yeah.
that's all right.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Good. Feels good to have baseball back.
Yeah, it does. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
Except for my terrible spring training
Well,
debacle.
It's still fun to go.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was definitely fun. But getting killed by the fucking Giants is never fun. Shut up, Rick.
Spring training, like seriously, like especially if you go early on, like
Yeah.
that. Oh god, it's so fun. You can catch so many games. I think we caught a game every day we were there. They were cheap.
Yeah.
You could literally like catch all the teams, like, 'cause they're all so close.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
With my mom living and working out of Arizona now, I was like, hey, let's go to a game. Because me and my grandpa's always trying to get out there anyway.
Yeah.
And like now we have a good reason
Yeah.
to go.
Did Gramps go?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
There was
awesome.
me,
That's cool.
Gramps, and my cousin Dominic.
Okay.
Well, Dominic was a last minute addition, but that was super fun, man.
Nice.
It's been a long time since the three of us
Oh, just you three?
have done something together. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
thought Alexis and the kids.
Oh,
were
no, I ain't taking no
okay.
fucking kids to spring training. Are you kidding me? I don't want to take the kids to fucking Olive Garden. I'm not taking them to spring training.
So,
But yeah.
So you actually did go.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
pretty
You see,
cool.
like, didn't you
I saw the picture, but I
that's
thought it was like a
you were
flashback or
bullshit.
throwback Thursday.
I don't
No.
believe you. April Fool's is a few weeks away.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Mike.
Here's what I will say that I thought was really dope. It was, it's big league games essentially, but spring training. That fucking Salt River Fields is so nice. Was that complex up when you went, or were they
Probably,
still?
I don't think I saw a game there.
Okay.
Because I was at Tempe Diablo. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Salt River Fields is fucking nice,
Yeah.
man. It is so cool. I would love to go out there and just watch baseball at that stadium all the time. The coolest thing was like, I mean, we got food while we were there. We got some nachos and some hot dogs, like two nachos and 2 hot dogs, and they weren't like nachos like we're used to at
Yeah.
stadium. Right?
Yeah.
Like it's literally just chips and cheese, but you can't. Like, for my money, you can't beat ballpark nachos, even if it's just the cheese sauce, which I'm not a huge fan of all the time. But there's something about baseball game and nacho cheese, and so like, it was relative. It was only $20 for 2 jumbo dogs and 2 orders of nachos, and I was like, God damn, this is like.
Yeah, spring training is definitely a little cheaper, but there's some good food on
Well, you know,
summer too.
since it was spring training, beers were only $8 and not $13. But we didn't get any beer there. We stopped on the way home and got some and drank at my mom's after. But yeah, it was pretty fun, man. Like, the coolest thing about it, and I always say this, like, I'd never been to spring training before. It's the first time I've ever gone to something like that. I've been to some minor league games before, seen the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes and all that. And those are fun too. But this was awesome because, like, everybody from the Diamondbacks starting lineup, like the 25-man roster, walked by and stopped. And Goldschmidt came out, and at the very, like, back of the right field line, he started signing autographs.
Yeah.
And all the way down, it took him about a half hour to get to the dugout because he was stopping and taking pictures.
That's pretty cool.
And he's the fucking face of the franchise.
Yeah.
And like that's not like, oh, third string fucking middle infielder. Like that is our everyday first baseman, quote unquote America's first baseman, because fuck Joey Votto. And he signed autographs for about a half hour and took pictures and was like talking to people and
Yeah. It's
just
awesome.
a really cool vibe. Now I wish he would have taken that vibe and fucking done something offensively in the game, which he didn't do. And then so around the fourth inning, we started sending our starters back and just started giving the guys who are fighting for jobs essentially a chance to play. The asshole Giants kept all their starters in until like the seventh inning, so that's what ran up the score as much as it did. It's like, well, fucking McCutcheon's got 2 doubles, a home run, and a triple. Like, fuck off, man. Fucking Evan Longoria. That the West is going to be crazy this year. Because if the Dodgers play the way they did last year, the Giants added so much depth to their bench and their starting lineup.
Now Pablo Sandoval's on their bench.
Yeah. So that was weird. They used the DH in that game, the Giants.
That is.
Pablo Sandoval was batting DH in that game.
So it could have just been because they wanted him to get some swings.
Yeah, but what the fuck is DH a thing
I
right
mean,
then?
that's probably
It doesn't
why,
make
though.
any sense.
That's my guess, though. I know there's some games too where like I've seen games where sometimes they just won't have the pitchers hit in general. Like
Yeah.
even if it is like they do stuff so guys can get their work in.
I guess so. I
Yeah.
mean,
We agree, Cheesy.
but I really enjoyed it. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
A fun time out there. I would love to go back in June. Like
Oh,
I told
yeah,
you,
that'd be fun.
Angels
that'd be
Diamondbacks
fun.
game at Chase.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome.
And then in July they're playing 2 games out here.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
Okay.
2 games out there in June. I think and 2 games out here in July.
Nice.
That's cool.
So we're gonna have to go to one of those games, whether it's the one at Angel Stadium
Right.
or at Chase Field. We got to go to one of those games.
Yeah, for sure.
There's 4 chances within a 5-hour
Can't
radius.
miss. Yeah.
Cool.
But that was a fun time, and it was a fun road trip. Like I said, it's been a long time since me and my grandfather and my cousin have done anything together like that, and it was pretty dope.
That was like what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Hello,
What's
Rick.
up?
I just know Bumgarner's out.
You just what?
Bumgarner.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, hurt himself already. Not even during
Yeah,
official
that sucks.
plays.
But you got a lot to be excited.
But we got a lot of.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and you don't have to worry too much because I'm telling you that fucking lineup. Like when they announced the starting lineup for the Giants, I was like, fuck, holy shit, because it was Panic, McCutcheon, Posey, Longoria, like those 4 guys right there, and then not to mention Sandoval off the bench.
Pence. Did you say
Uh,
Pence?
No, I didn't, but yeah, Pence.
Usually bats like 8.
But yeah, man, that's a fucking deep lineup. That
it's
lineup's
nice
gonna be
on
trouble.
paper. Hopefully, yeah. 'Cause
I hope so.
I think Evan Longoria has tapered off a little bit. McCutcheon, I know had an off you, but that's what happens.
So yeah,
It's good.
between what the Giants have done to their bench, the Dodgers, if they continue to play the way they've been playing the last few years and choking where it's important to choke, Colorado had a great season last year, and Arizona we had a great season last year. So like, those 4 teams, and unless San Diego does something to step up, they're going to be way down here, and it's going to be a 4-way race for the division and probably the wild card because unless we all split games within the division, both wild card is gonna come out of that West again.
Yeah.
Unless we split all the interdivision games.
It's going to be cool to see how it
Yeah.
plays out, for sure.
I'm excited for this season, more so than I have been in a while, just because of how competitive I think the West is gonna be.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since this West has been this competitive.
The Padres will get there eventually, too. I know they have a lot of prospects. So
Yeah,
even if it's not
they have a
this
lot of
year,
youth.
They signed somebody, I forget who, but they signed somebody that is like, it's a big contract for them. So they have that, plus they have a lot of youth, a lot of talent coming up. So when that talent starts to come up, I mean, then that's going to be really interesting.
You're gonna be jacking it in San Diego for sure.
Yeah. The fans would be.
So speaking of baseball, are you gonna get the show this year?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why I haven't gotten it. Lately.
I was gonna buy it last year just to get that collector's edition because of all the
Yeah.
Griffey stuff, but I
Yeah.
ended up not doing it. just because there was other like I would never play it because I rented it and played a little bit of it, and it played really well and felt really good. But there's so many other games out now; it's hard to justify paying $60 for a game that's marginally updated. That I have to play at least an hour of a day when there's other things I want to play.
Yeah.
In that time frame.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I didn't read. I know what general reviews was. So I didn't read the reviews for this one yet this year. I mean, I would consider it like.
The reviews it's getting this year have been knocked down some points, but it's not because it's worse. It's because they haven't done anything new.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I mean, there's definitely. I sometimes do have the urge to go out there and like it does feel nice to fucking hit home runs in a video game like.
I just
haven't. I don't know.
I haven't really checked the reviews of RBI, but it's been 5 years. That game should be better by now.
Yeah.
And it wasn't terrible that first year, but it was too arcadey for what I wanted. Like every game was 13 to 12, and the rubber band AI was fucking ridiculous, and team stats didn't matter. It was just like, hey, you got this timing down, which is cool. I dig that aspect where if you figure out the game and the mechanics, you can rake with anybody. That makes sense. Too. But it was a little too rubber bandy for my taste.
Yeah.
Because no matter what I would throw, if I was up, because I bought it that first year because I was excited to see.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I was excited to see what they did with it, and it just was like one of those things where I would hit home runs with the guys I should hit home runs with, guys like Goldschmidt and Peralta and those guys, but then we'd be up 4-0 going into the 7th inning, and no matter what I threw, the score would end up tied at the end of that, or they'd end up ahead, and I'd have to fight back.
Yeah,
and it's like
frustrating.
It's just not fun. It totally kills the vibe of the game, and I don't know if they fixed that because I haven't read the reviews yet. But they added an extra $10 to the price. It's $30 now for it instead of $20.
Wonder why.
It's on everything, including the mobile and Switch. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't mind having some sort of baseball game.
Super Mega Baseball 2 comes out in a couple weeks.
There you go.
And it's not. That's the only problem with that is it's not licensed. So.
Yeah.
But that was super fun when we played that demo. Yeah.
Really, really fun.
What about you, Ricky? You get the show? You
Probably not. Probably not. I barely play any other games.
Yeah.
So.
That used to be our thing. We used to play
That used to be our
all
thing.
the time.
Yeah, we pretty much played it for like a good 5 generations of it.
I mean, Mike and I did it too, but yeah, you and I, there was a while when Mike was in the show, so.
Did you make it?
Nope. That's why.
That's what we were supposed to sell that he did.
Yeah.
It's alright.
Far Cry 5. You talked about Far Cry 5.
Yeah.
Or we watched a trailer.
Yeah, you and I
Yeah.
did. I don't think we watched it on the show, though.
No, we did.
Did we?
Pretty sure we did.
Okay. I'm interested in Far Cry 5.
Boogie's been streaming it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My only problem with Far Cry 5 is it's just Far Cry 4, which was just Far Cry 3. I didn't like Far Cry 3. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
It started off great, but then it lost me right away. But I platinumed Far Cry 4 because that
4
world
looked interesting.
That
it
world
wasn't
and those
for me.
characters really intrigued me. So I platinumed that. I'm thinking about getting a 5, but I'm going to wait a couple weeks when it's being sold for $39.99 because that's what happens to games now. But I don't know. I don't know.
There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do in that game from what I've seen.
It's basically the same as 4, which is fine. It looks fucking great though. I saw the giant bomb quick look. Man, it looks great. But yeah, I'm considering it. I'm definitely considering it because I liked Far Cry 4 a lot. But I don't know if I want to spend $60 right now on an open world game with RPG-ish elements that... the thing about it that I kind of like, that I think you'll like also, is what a lot of people don't like about it, is they've streamlined the upgrading process. Mm-hmm. So now you get upgrade points for just doing tasks, where before it was like, skin 5 white mountain lions to craft a pouch that holds more ammo or whatever. Now it's kill and skin 3 bears, you get 3 upgrade tokens, and you can put those anywhere you want.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's not like specific shit anymore. All that stuff is still there in a roundabout way, but it's not as in-depth, which I think is awesome, but a lot of people are not digging that. A lot of people liked the hunting and stuff. And
I think that's cool.
The hunting was fun, but when I'm trying to track down fucking 6 honey badgers because I need to get a bigger wallet because I'm tired of carrying only a little bit of money, like, fuck that. So streamlining that for me is a big deal.
trying to remember if I played a Far Cry. Like I feel like did I?
You played 3. You didn't play
I
any
think
of 4. You
I
bought 3,
must
yeah.
have bought it. I didn't play it for very much.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
We all petered out about the same time
Yeah.
on 3. And I keep telling you to get 4 when it's on sale because it's actually a really good fucking game.
I never got that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since we're talking about video games, and Cheesy brought it up, Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
I tried playing that. I know we kind of talked about it offline.
Yeah.
But yeah, I tried playing that again, trying to give it like another second shot or third shot, I should say. And it's just not for me. I can't do it on. I feel like if I played it on PC, it might be a little different. But playing it on controller just seems a lot harder than playing it on
A PC.
than would we be playing it on a PC.
Fortnite's just not for me. I just
think the thing with Fortnite, because they gotta do like multiple things pretty much at the same time, build shit and shoot at the same time. I figure with the keyboard you have a lot more range to get around it. When the controller, you kind of have to like, okay, like maybe I just can't remember.
It slows it down. It definitely slows it down.
I feel like it's slower, yeah.
But yeah, I can't get into those games, whether it's PUBG or Fortnite or the Battle Royale modes. Like, I'm not looking forward to every game having a fucking 100 on one-on-one thing, 100 people on the thing. Like, no thanks. That's not for me. I don't play competitive shooters to begin with because I don't like the vibe that those things put out. But yeah, it's just not for me.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I've gotten excited about pretty much just a shooter. I don't think I have in forever, so I don't know.
Well, Overwatch.
Well, that was the last.
I'm talking about me though.
Oh, for you, okay.
Yeah.
You didn't play Overwatch yet?
No.
Oh, I thought I did.
I got curious.
Fuck out of that game.
I got curious. Fucking Francis is mega fan of that.
Yeah, Francis is obsessed with it like crazy.
It took me a year and a half, but I got over Overwatch.
Yeah.
You're over it already?
Yeah.
I don't think Francis is.
It took a year and a half though, man. It kept its hooks in me as long as Rocket League did.
Francis would be like, it took 10.5 years, but I got over it.
Well, now that Overwatch 2 is out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just not a big competitive shooter person at all, and I don't like that. Spawn into this world, die 2 seconds later, and then you're out for the rest of the game kind of thing. It's just not. The only game I ever really got into like that was the original Counter-Strike, but I didn't even play that on PC. I played that on the original Xbox.
I forgot Counter-Strike, yeah.
And I really enjoyed that on original Xbox, but I played
it on PC.
I was a different kind of gamer then.
That's cool, Cheesy, that Fortnite's brought you and your friends
together.
I think that's cool. That's awesome you could have that experience.
You know what game will do that too?
Yeah.
Burnout Paradise.
Burnout Paradise.
But I gotta stop. As far as Fortnite is game of this year, like, dude, it's fucking March 2018. Like,
it's still early.
Don't be rattling stuff like that.
It was also released last year.
Oh, it was released last year? Oh, yeah, it was like late last year, huh?
Yeah. It technically made it to full release with their Battle Royale mode before PUBG did.
Well, although between PUBG and
I'd rather
Fortnite,
I'll play Fortnite. Yeah. If there was only 2 games left on this earth and I had to choose between them to play for the rest of my life, I'd pick Fortnite all day because I love the style of it. Yeah. But I just don't like that type of game.
And the team up is good too. I guess, yeah, I mean, if you could bring people like that together. Great.
It's so weird. As much as I hear those games, their names rattle off all the time, I don't think I've really watched extended footage of either game. Like, I don't... You could put up footage of both, I wouldn't be able to tell you which game's which.
Probably not, yeah.
No. See, I think, like I said, I tried playing it, can't really do it, but I enjoy watching it. It's weird, right? I never figured myself to be, like, enjoying, like, competitive watching, like, video game watching. Like, I'd rather watch someone who's having fun and just playing it for fun.
Especially Fortnite, there's like...
Same with, like, Overwatch. Like, I don't mind watching Overwatch.
Yeah. Fortnite is definitely fun to watch because you see people that are really good at building things and then shooting and building and shooting. I think it's way more entertaining and interesting of a game than PUBG, but they're just not my style of game.
Cheesy says he understands. I'm doing this because I've realized we sometimes respond and we don't do it for the audio. So Cheesy says, I understand that, but just hear me out. As much as I love Red Dead and God of War, Fortnite by storm has taken over the gaming community, so everyone's on it. That's true.
Okay,
fine,
but everybody... like, Nickelback sells the most records out of every fucking band in the world. That doesn't make them the best band of the year. And I know I'm not saying that Fortnite is the Nickelback of video games. I'm just saying critical mass does not equal best. You could say it's my favorite game so far and will probably be my favorite game of the year. But you can't say best.
All I'm saying is
I think it's the best community game.
all I'm gonna say still is the year is fucking young. It's March,
young.
turning on April. Like
Yeah.
you know how I hate when people talk in absolutes. Like that's all. Just wait. If Cheesy, if this is still your opinion at the end of this year, and you're still hopefully watching this, though, you know, I will gladly accept and hear your argument.
Yeah.
Your opinion.
But yeah,
Fuck you. But Cheesy plays. But as soon as you say, "Look at this photograph,"
It's true.
I love it.
It doesn't mean they're the best. It could be somebody's favorite. I think we got a Nickelback fan on our hands,
Is that
guys.
a true stat? Like what in recent times?
For a while, Nickelback was selling the most records
Huh.
out of any band.
wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like their new releases.
Not recently, but for a while there, when everybody was shitting on them, they're the worst band ever. Nickelback and
Okay.
Creed are the worst bands ever. Those two bands were selling the most records because people always forget. Just like with every other form of entertainment, people always forget that it's not just the West Coast and the East Coast, guys. There's this whole area
Right,
in the
of
middle
course.
that hates
Called
the
the
shit you
world.
like and loves the shit you hate.
Yeah.
So,
I know like Beatles are like still the most.
yeah.
top selling.
Just I meant at that
Yeah.
specific
I just
moment.
think Metallica's right under them. Actually, I think
Metallica's up there, too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Cool. So.
well, let's talk games.
Let's go keep
Yeah.
on the game train.
So I was playing this hot newness that just came out a couple weeks ago. I put 40 hours into
Ooh,
it already.
really?
Yeah, 40 hours. I haven't. There's an extra part of it that I haven't touched yet. I can't wait to get there and see what that's like.
Insane, dude.
But yeah, 40 hours into Burnout Paradise Remastered, and I've got my Elite license. I've got all the billboards. I've got all the gates. I got all the super jumps. I've unlocked and shut down all of the extra cars and got the burning routes for all of them, including the WTR racer that only took me 3 tries.
Yeah.
God, that felt good.
I was on that path. I know for a while I was ahead of everybody
Yeah.
with the license and stuff, and then I was gone for 5 days.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Like, oh well. But yeah, dude, Burnout Paradise, like
Oh, that makes sense.
that game is still fucking everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we played that game so much when it first came out in 2008, and played it to death. And
For about a good 6.5 years before
Yeah.
we really started to slow down.
yeah.
And then I'll even say up until, like I said the other night when we were online, up until about 2 years ago, we were still playing it like once a week,
Yeah, we would hop on
once a
and still play
month,
it,
twice
like,
a month.
It's crazy. Like,
Mhm.
and no game, I don't fucking care. No game since has an online experience as smooth as Burnout Paradise. I'm not talking about features and
Yeah.
all the shit you do. I just mean
Seamless.
It's so fucking seamless. No one else has copied it,
There's
and they can't do it right.
2 games got close, Skate 2,
Yeah.
but the menu system for that game sucked. It was still like click right on the D-pad, but then you had to go down a little bit and then click again. Like it literally is right, and I have an invite sent to Bryce, and
It's
he's
so
in my
simple.
game.
Yeah.
The other game that was super close, and we experienced it, was Need for Speed Most Wanted, which was
Yeah.
also a Criterion joint, and as close to Burnout as we have gotten since Burnout, and that came out four years later, because I think it was Burnout, and then they did Need for Speed Hot Pursuit,
Yeah.
and then there was another Need for Speed after that, and then I think they did Need for Speed Most Wanted after that. So it was like a good 5 years until we got Need for Speed Most Wanted. But Most Wanted was an amazing fucking video game, to the point where I got it on my PS3 and I got it on my Vita. And I have 2
Yeah, I
platinums in
remember
that
that.
game. One for the PS3 and one for the Vita. And I actually played online on my Vita as much as I played on the PS3.
Oh wow.
Underground.
The only thing...
Was that the other one?
No. Underground is an old game.
Oh, okay.
He's saying.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jesus
he
said
said, oh,
Need for
that he
Speed
likes
Underground's
it.
the
Okay.
greatest. Also, real quick, to answer your question, is it a $30 price tag? I know
It's for $30 right now.
physical, and then I know GameStop. It's I think until like tomorrow. I
Yeah.
don't know how long it is on Amazon, but
Right.
I don't think it's gonna stay that way, and it's physical. It's
Yeah.
that way. So yeah.
Get it? Jump on with us?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Because, man, you and I just...
I would have to agree. Yeah, man. The Burnout is just. I mean, that game, we just spent so many hours playing it, and we had fun just driving around doing nothing.
Mike
Just
and I just hopped on at 11:30 at night. And
Yeah.
got off at 4 in the morning. Just
Yeah.
the other day.
4 in the morning?
Oh, yeah.
You guys were on that late?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
We started talking about getting off at like 2:45. Didn't happen till 4.
Holy God. That's
Yeah,
well,
Bryce-
that's not surprising because
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
spent times like that before.
Well, I was trying. We got online, and Bryce and I were doing what we normally do: barrel rolls in the quarry, hitting up the airfield, like just the shit we always
Yeah.
do. And then he was like, "Oh yeah, let's open up this." I was like, "Open up the lobby, dude, and we'll try and get you that 8-player meetup at Wildcat Trophy." And it took us about 25-30 minutes before we got enough people. And again, people joined. One other person joined with a headset. We started the challenge, and like it was actually an enjoyable experience. And we ended up playing for a little bit longer with 8 players, just driving around before we ended up actually going to bed.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's
So it's 8 players per session type of deal, or
no, it's just like it was before. That you can play from 2 players to 8 players online.
To get this particular
Oh,
To get a
Gotcha,
particular
okay,
trophy,
gotcha.
you had to have
Eight
8 players.
people.
There's
Right.
also another one we're gonna have to do. So Cheese needs to get it. We need to get 10 miles on bikes in an 8-player lobby.
Okay. Yeah,
I
she's
forgot
good
about
at
the bikes.
it.
I haven't done the bike stuff yet either.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm fucking so hyped on this game still. 10 years later, it still is one
It's
of
just-
my
it's-
top 5 games of all time.
It's addictive. Yeah, it has to be. Like if I ever claimed it wasn't, you'd have to call me a liar. It's
Yeah.
like what other game have I put so much time into that I still play and still go back to and still praise the way that
Yeah.
I do, we do.
I love that 3 games that I would consider top 5 to top 10 games have come out within the last 10 years. Burnout Paradise, Borderlands 2, and I think those would be top 5, and I think Need for Speed Most Wanted would crack top 10 for me just because it feels so much like Burnout without being a direct, like, because it had gates and billboards and jumps just like Burnout did.
Huh.
The one that duped us was what?
Hot Pursuit.
Yeah.
But that's still a good game. Like,
Yeah. It was,
but they kept
Something
talking
wrong
about it
with
like it was going to be Burnout.
yeah.
And it wasn't. Like, the online system sucked for Hot Pursuit. Because you and I tried to do the online to where we could race together and drive around this big open map. But it was like sections of the map.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And it was not fun. And the only way you couldn't free roam online. You could only get online if you were going to race each other.
Mhm.
Like, you could only be in lobbies like that. It was... But, after the fact, I went back and played that game. And it's actually a really fucking good game. It's just not what we thought it was. And that's partly our fault.
Yeah.
But it's partly their fault for talking like
Teasing
it
it.
was going to be Burnout.
right. We just had convinced ourselves and
Yeah.
that isn't what it was.
I mean, it didn't fucking help that, Craig Sullivan was on stage at E3 talking about, yeah, get online, race with your friends, check this out. I set a time and then he can join my game and try and
Yeah.
beat me. It's like, but none of that shit was even there.
No. It was poorly worded.
The
Poorly
thing,
executed.
the thing that they did get way better was the autolog stuff. And
yeah,
now,
that stuff was cool.
And now every fucking game has persistent leaderboards for everything, even if they're single player. And Burnout started that shit.
Yeah.
Like, Burnout was ahead of its time with a lot of things, and nobody has since then has gotten it just as good as them.
No, they haven't. It still hasn't been touched. It's insane.
The only people that got close were the same studio with Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Yeah. Also, just that game, like, there's still, I mean, yeah, there's been games that have been close, but there still hasn't been a game that's, like, I'd love a follow-up to this game.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying it's got to be same team, even though
Yeah.
I'd love it. It's not going to happen, but I'd love someone to try to copy it for me. Like,
Yeah.
let me have a new experience. Like, I think that would be amazing. It's so fun to play a game like this where it's just kind of stress-free. Like, yeah, there's races, there's events, do them if you want, don't do them if you don't want to, explore this world. Like, have these elements where you have to find gates and find jumps and all this other stuff. Like, I think it's fantastic, and the game was successful. I think I don't get how no one's copied that template.
Yeah. The most recent Need for Speed that Ghost Games did, Payback, the one I kept raving about over the holiday, that's a lot of the team that worked at Criterion.
Yeah.
That's at Ghost Games now. And that game is really fun and really good and really close to being amazing and being on that level. But here's the problem. Burnout made a video game and then built a city around the game that made the game flow, where you learned the streets, you learned the shortcuts, you learned all that stuff, and it all flowed perfectly. It was like they built the city specifically for that game. Nowadays, when you get open world driving games, it's like, well, let's build this big ass city and then we'll throw video game stuff in it, and nothing flows.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know a lot of people complain that there's no fast travel in Burnout Paradise,
I don't understand that.
but if you do a race over here on this side of the map and you have to go over here on the other side of the map to the wind farm and you get there, there's events over there that take you back over here.
Yeah.
And then those events take you back over here and back. It flows so well no
Right.
matter what order you do the events in.
And like, I mean, yeah, I don't understand why that's a necessary element, because yeah, later on they did implement the restart the event feature, you know,
Which-
and if you really like were being lazy and didn't want to get to to the other side of the map where you just came from, start the event and then
You'll
cancel
end up
it.
there.
You'll end up to start the event and then just don't compete in it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but like it's ridiculous. It's not that big of a map, and like part of the fun of the game is just traveling around and seeing what you find. You know, like
That's the one thing about it that I thought and didn't realize. Like, we thought that map was so big 10 years ago.
Yeah,
It's not that big.
No. It still has a feeling.
It still
of
feels
girth, though.
Yes, it
the
does.
thing, it
So
feels
weird.
big, but like because of all the things you can do in there and like how easily you can get sidetracked. Like last time I was playing, I got sidetracked so many times when I was stuck all the way on the other side of the map, and I had to go back to get some other things done. Like I was driving, I just kept finding other gates or other boards or other things to do, and it's
Rick is like
jumps.
the perfect example of how a game can bring somebody in, because Rick didn't like driving games.
I hated driving.
He hates driving
I
games.
don't like them.
And I was like, dude, this is an arcade game. And he's like, I don't know. And there was one time where we were all hanging out, and Bryce and I just fucking kept talking so highly of this game, where he was like, well, there's a Best Buy, let's go stop and I'll get it. And it was on sale at that point. It was down to $30. And he got it.
Yeah, and I think about the camera too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he got it. And then Rick probably put close to 100 hours into that game. Not necessarily doing the single player stuff, but playing online with us.
They're just playing with other people.
Yeah.
Which is what I love about games like that.
I think it's funny that I'm already 40 hours in.
Yeah, I don't know what my hour count is at, but yeah, it's the thing about that game though is like the game is just as fun playing alone also.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I don't think that's what you're saying, but I don't want people to think like, oh, it's fun just to play with other people. That's fun too, but there is like
No, the
there's so
challenges
much
make
to
it a lot
do.
of fun, though.
It's
Yeah.
fucking amazing to play that game in any fashion.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it fucking awoke the beast in me the last time I played.
Yeah, when you were playing with me and Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ben said something that cracked Rick up while we were playing, and it
Something
was,
about
he was
fucking,
complaining
what
about
was
the traffic in the game because he was trying. We were all in separate games. We weren't playing together. We were
Yeah.
on single player games.
Like a party chat then?
Yeah. And so we're all in our single player games and doing shit, and Ben was trying to do a burning route for something, and traffic had kept getting in his way. And he goes, God, will you stop fucking driving like a white girl in a Range Rover and get out of my fucking way? And Rick lost it. And like, I hadn't heard Rick laugh like that since we were playing Burnout, really.
Yeah.
So you guys didn't all get together?
We eventually did.
Like-
we eventually did.
yeah.
But we were doing our own single player stuff,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is what
Which
we
is
used to do.
fun
We did
to
that
do
too.
too, yeah.
Yeah.
It is that time of year right now, man. Like, it is starting to get toasty.
And yeah, I'm starting to get hot. And also the lights too.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Really? I'm not bad. I'm usually the one that starts sweating first.
I'm not sweating, but like
Yeah.
it's stuffy in here, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, man, Burnout's still amazing 10 years later. If you've never played it before, you'll boot it up and go, oh, this does not look all that great compared to what other games look like now. But
I think
it looks fun. It's fine.
It
It
looks
feels
fine.
good. It plays well.
Yeah, it looks fine.
It's one of those things where it's just the package is so tight that it's fantastic,
Yeah.
and I'm dying for them to put this on Switch. There shouldn't be any reason why it's not on Switch.
No. Yeah, it'd be awesome. I mean, the only thing would be, I guess, the no analog triggers.
Well, yeah, that's the big deal, huh?
Yeah.
Analog triggers.
On the Switch,
Oh, right. Gotcha.
and the big part of that is drifting, is
Right.
feathering that gas,
Yeah.
which you can't. Yeah, all right, I can see why that wouldn't work then, but I'm still
Maybe it'll work
saying.
for Rocket League, though, so I don't know. I haven't tried Rocket League yet, but they've done it. Like, it can be done, but I just
Yeah.
wonder what it's like. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
God, I love that game.
And you and I are fucking stupid, and if they put this out on Switch, we'll probably get it there
Yeah,
too.
yeah. And I'm still, because I don't want to sound like a hypocrite, and I'm not trying to start a debate. I still, my opinion, no matter how much enjoyment I'm getting out of it, I still don't think the game should have been $40. That's still my opinion. I just don't think so. But I'm an idiot, and I'm still enjoying the fuck out of it. And if it got released for the Switch for $70, I probably would still buy it. I probably would still say, this isn't worth this, but I fucking love this game. I'm gonna buy it.
And like I don't like vehemently disagree with you, but I think that's the right price point.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, because it's funny how we swapped in a
Yeah.
way. Because, like, I don't think, like, you were kind of speaking more like, well, when we first talked about it. I don't know that we swapped, but, like, I played it and I wasn't expecting wholesale changes.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, like, it doesn't look that updated. And I don't think I just feel like it could have been, like, $19.
Oh no.
I think easily could have been that. Like, there's nothing different about
I
the
think
game at
I think
all.
where it's at right now at 30, if you
Yeah.
can get it for 30, I think that's the
That's a
perfect price
sweet
point.
price.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I don't want to start a debate.
Yeah,
I don't think it should be $40. I think it should be way cheaper.
But it's 30 now.
It's 10 years old.
If you get it physically through, I guess, Amazon for right now and GameStop right now, it's $30.
People should just go get this, but it'll be too late by the time they see this.
I mean, there's so many. Apparently, there's so many ways to get a 20% off code for the PSN, and that would take,
I don't get the
$8 off.
Do you?
Not that one.
Yeah.
But apparently, there's like other ways to get them, like going to the website and going here, going there, filling out a survey. It's like that would take $8 off the price, and you'd be essentially be paying $30.
No, you're right though. There's things where you literally watch a 2-minute video and you get a code.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually done it twice.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
So I have 2 codes.
Also, Burnout, great game, 10 out of 10, almost absolutely perfect. Game of the generation of PS3 360, and one of my top 5 favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
I'll throw it in there too.
Boom. Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice is on sale for $20 right now. And if you don't play this game, you're crazy. It's fucking fantastic. It's an awesome story. It deals with some real shit in a real way. And I think everybody should play that game. And for $20, you can't go wrong.
Is that the game? Is that the game that it's good to play with headphones on? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'll have to look into the game for sure. Like, I mean, I've heard your praise, but I don't think I've seen anything on it at all. So I'll have to check that out.
It won Best Audio Design at the Video Game Awards
yeah.
and some Best Story, I think, also, like other shit. So.
Sounds familiar,
yeah. It's awesome.
Well, it was one of. It was.
Well, I know that.
List, so, yeah.
Oh, that's probably why. Okay.
But yeah, I think I just wanted to get that out there. That's an amazing game, and that if you're hearing this live, it's on sale till Tuesday. If you're hearing this on Tuesday, you have until 2:00, I think, when the store updates to buy it.
Yeah.
But even at $30, that game is completely worth it because that's what I bought it at. Was $30.
Is there any other video game? I feel like there was.
Hot Shots Golf. Everybody's Golf.
Everybody's Golf
is on sale for $20 right now. I think that's like a new permanent price, by the way.
I think I saw that.
Yeah. So digitally for $20. I almost bought it digitally so I could get rid of the disc, which I did with Bloodborne and Ratchet and Clank a couple weeks ago when those went free on Plus. But yeah, man, there's a lot of great games. BioShock collection is on sale for $12 right now on the PSN.
That's what I was gonna say.
I haven't played through BioShock 1 since it originally came out 10 or 11 years ago, whatever it was, and
I remember I bought BioShock the same day you and I went to go pick up a Guitar Hero. We were together, and I bought it the same day. Yep.
Okay.
I don't remember which Guitar Hero it was, but yeah.
Oh, so you mentioned BioShock.
Mm-hmm.
I played more of it. I didn't stream it, but I played more of BioShock. Infinite.
Oh, Sorry,
Infinite. Because that's the only one I haven't played.
Okay.
And fuck, that game just gets better and better the more deep you get into it. I'm loving it, especially like the design of it and like the aesthetics of like. It's just kind of like aesthetics that I like.
It's an animated Disney movie that goes real dark.
Like, yeah, there you go.
That's the way it feels. And like when you first meet the girl, she looks like a fucking Disney princess. Like
she does, yeah.
It's amazingly done, but the gameplay loop in that game got so repetitive and boring for me.
Infinite?
Yeah, but the story is fucking fantastic, and I'm looking forward to playing it again,
so
even though I don't like the mechanics.
It's good. But yeah, I got a little deeper into it, and I'm still loving the hell out of it, just because like it's such a good game. Also, I just wanted to cover that really quick, but also want to throw this in. I think Guillermo del Toro should direct the BioShock movie.
If
it ever happens, or something that happens, or if even any kind of rumblings, like I think he'd be the perfect director for it, especially after watching The Shape of Water.
Has there been recent talk about that?
No, not for a long, long time about the BioShock movie.
No.
I remember for a while, like every video game, they've optioned the rights for Prince of Persia, and that eventually came out. I never saw it.
This would be a perfect segue.
Fucking Metal Gear movie is always coming. Uncharted is always coming. On BioShock, it's still in development. No, it's not. Stop it. You should get the BioShock collection. You played a little bit of one. One feels surprisingly good still mechanically. Like it still holds up mechanically. I really like the story of BioShock 1, and the fucking swerve at the end is so good.
Yeah.
Would you kindly?
Would you kindly?
And one of the best BioShock things ever is that episode of Hey Ash, What You Playing?
God, I love that.
Holy shit, that's so good.
Oh man.
Would you kindly fix the toilet? I dropped a big deuce. But yeah, Bioshock 1 holds up. 2, I haven't started yet. I'm not going to start it. I'm going to actually play through them sequentially. But I remember 2 just being so mechanically tight, but the story sucked in 2.
Yeah, I couldn't get through it. I got like probably halfway through it, and then I think I ended up returning.
I don't
it.
like the tower defense aspect of 2, where you have to set up all your traps, and then you have the waves of people. Like, I didn't enjoy that. And the story is kind of... but Bioshock Infinite is the same team that did 1, because a different team did 2. So those 2 games, 1 and Infinite, have great stories and great ambiance, and they feel really good.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not even gonna go back to play the second one. Probably not.
Nah, me either. It was part of the package, so I have no choice. Like, I was like, can I give you $8 and you just take 2 out of there? But no, you can't do that.
That'd be a nice option.
Yeah, right. Well,
I think I just bought Infinite by itself. I didn't get all of them.
Oh, you didn't get the collection?
No.
Okay. So
No, it's cheaper.
the way they sell the collection digitally is Bioshock 1 and 2 are their own download and executable, and Bioshock Infinite is its own download executable. So if they would have broken them up, I would have loved an option just to buy 1 and 3 essentially and leave 2 out. But 2 does have the DLC, Minerva's Den, which I've never played, but it won Add-on of the Year on Giant Bomb in 2009. And Brad Shoemaker fought hard for about an hour and a half until everybody caved and was like, fine, Brad, shut up. Minerva's Den wins best add-on. But I just recently listened to that episode again of the Giant Bombcast stuff. But yeah, so there's something worth it there in that package, even if you don't like the second game.
Yeah.
That's true. And Cheesy feels the same way in the chat.
Cool.
I haven't finished it yet, Cheesy, so it's easy on the spoilers. That's a spoiler.
What, 3?
Yeah.
Or Infinite?
3, Infinite, yeah. Moving on.
Yeah,
The thought video games?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or-
it's fine. No, I have something I could say, but it's not important. It's fine. It's not. It's okay. Fine. So the only resident graphic adventure fan over here. I've recently. So this is what sparked this. So Curse of Monkey Island, which is the third Monkey Island, just recently came out, available on Steam and GOG and stuff, and which is awesome because a lot of people. I'll take something. You surprised me.
Don't do a Capri Sun, please. We don't have the time for that.
Yeah, a lot of people weren't able to get the game running on more modern machines. Like, there's ways around it and stuff, or it just wasn't available digitally. Now it was. So I'm like, cool. I'm gonna buy it. It was like $5.99 or $6.99 or something on Steam, so I got it.
That's sweet.
That's fine. And so yeah, I got that, and suddenly I was in a thread of people talking about Curse of Monkey Island and all this other stuff. So then somehow I got on this thing where, so Secret of Monkey Island, the remaster.
Is that what is Secret of Monkey Island?
Is the first
and
one,
that's the
Secret of Monkey
remaster.
Island. That's the
Well, it was called Special Edition,
Special
right?
Edition.
Okay, that's what it was.
So that's the first one, the Secret of Monkey Island. Honestly, they did it. They did it better with the Special Edition for number 2.
Yeah.
But I don't like what they did with the graphics. I like the older graphics better.
Yeah, that's something we talked about when it initially came out.
Right. I like the older graphics much better. I think, don't quote me on this because I'll get to it when I get to it, because yes, I'm going to replay Monkey Island 1.
Kindoffunny.com/you're wrong.
Yeah. Exactly. Monkey Island 2 lets you switch to the old graphics.
On the fly.
Well, they both do.
Yeah.
But I think it lets you switch to the old graphics and lets you keep the voice acting.
Oh, okay.
Monkey Island 1 didn't
You
do
don't
that. The
remember
Special
it
Edition
doing that?
didn't. No,
Okay.
it just doesn't do it.
Oh, it doesn't do it, okay.
So there's a workaround to it where I did all this stuff and basically I had to download this to do that and put it in this and put it in the other thing.
You point the audio to this and you point the visuals to that, basically.
Basically,
kind of
like I downloaded someone.
Hacker over here.
Someone made it to where you could play the original graphics and have the updated audio and have the voices, which I think is awesome. I mean, granted, I didn't when I first played those games. I was younger and voice acting kind of wasn't really a thing yet in games, and so I was used to playing it that way. But I liked the voice acting that got introduced in 3.
Okay.
And so I'm like, this is cool. I want to play these games again with the voice acting from 3. And it's just been a while. Every few years I play these games again, and this is the first time I'm playing it with old graphics, but with the updated audio and the voices, and then I'm going to play 2, and then I'm going to play Curse of Monkey Island. So
I was thinking about, speaking of these games, adventure games, I was thinking about going back and with a FAQ open and platinuming Grim.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
You got to do tank controls. Though.
yeah, I know,
Oh,
I know,
God, well,
I know.
you know what? I beat it that way the
Yeah.
first time, so
Yeah,
it
yeah,
can
yeah.
be done.
Yeah,
It can
and I
definitely be
missed
done.
some of the branching conversations apparently, so it wouldn't be like playing a game for 4 hours because it'd only be like 4.5 hours with the FAQ open, I'm sure.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, maybe 6.
Yeah.
But I missed some of the dialogue trees with some of the ancillary characters that aren't necessary to complete the story, and I didn't realize how many of them I actually missed.
Yeah.
And I missed a good portion, so it wouldn't be like me playing through this game uncomfortably just for that one trophy. It would be to do other
Right.
things too. Apparently, if you played it on Vita, and I wish I would have done this when I had my Vita still, is apparently if you start the game on the Vita in tank mode, you can use the touchscreen and move it around
Oh yeah.
and just power through the game that way,
That's cool. That's
and you
really
still get the trophy because the option is still on for tank controls, even though you're point and clicking it essentially.
That's pretty sweet.
So yeah, I wonder if maybe you could do it with the touchpad on the floor.
I don't know. You just hit on something that like that. See, this is why these games are replayable because
Yeah.
you go back to it, and you might not remember everything. And so I don't know. You could also test yourself for a little bit too.
I had enough fun the first time.
All right. Well, that's why
Which I think is
played
funny
these
because
games.
the first time I ever played that game was when the remaster came out,
Mhm.
and we played it. I played it to where we did, what's it called, party share or
Yeah.
game share or whatever.
Yeah.
So Bryce was watching me play it. I wasn't streaming it in case I did something entirely stupid. It was basically only streaming it to Bryce.
Yeah.
And Bryce had said a few times that he was actually pretty impressed how well I would get through some of the puzzles. The only one that really got me was the punch card, even though I had played with that fucking hole punch so much just for fun. And I was like, well, where the fuck am I supposed to get? Because my problem was I didn't have the card in my inventory that I needed to use the hole punch on.
Yeah.
And once I came across the card to use, I was like, oh shit, no, duh.
Yeah.
But that was the only puzzle, and that's at the beginning of the game, that really got me. The aimlessly drive around following the arrows thing, I actually did pretty quickly too.
Yeah, that's kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I really enjoyed that game and the story and the
I knew
voice
you would.
acting.
The story's good.
Yeah.
The voice acting's awesome. But I replay these games because it is cool. Like you actually sometimes forget.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh wow, this feels fresh again. And plus, I just like being in those worlds. So.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about go back and
Thanks for
play.
the update, Cheesy. Angels up 3-0.
All right. That's good.
Yeah, I like that typo. It's woo poo.
Woo poo.
Maybe that was
Maybe
intentional.
Pujols did it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, so I'm thinking about maybe going back to hit that platinum.
Yeah, do it.
But I have a lot to play right now.
Yeah.
And it's all 10-year-old games. Because I'm going to play... I'm going to keep playing Burnout. Lumines has got a spring 2018 release date on Switch, so that's within the next month or two. Then I'm going to play the fuck out of that again, because I played the shit out of that on PSP. And every iteration of Lumines I've played a bunch of. But yeah, I'm really excited about that.
Cool. Next.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Good. So shall we transition to movies?
Sure.
We got some trailers to watch. Got headphones this time, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
But the first trailer we're gonna watch here is the first trailer we're gonna watch.
What's it called?
You want to watch mine or turn?
Let's watch yours.
Action
Okay,
Point?
so yeah, this is something called Action Point. I actually stumbled across this. This is a Johnny Knoxville movie where it's a story, but all the stunts that they do, they did. Like, so it's kind of got that sort of jackass element to it.
Okay.
So I don't know if the movie's gonna be any fucking good, but because I'm a sucker for watching him hurt himself and that sort of thing, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to check this out. And so I forgot just before coming on the show. I'm like, I'm gonna bring this up. Chris Pontius is in it too.
Oh, yeah?
So
Party boy.
It's a movie. Yeah, it's a movie, but everything they're doing is happening.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Similar to Bad Grandpa, where everything was scripted, but a lot of the in public stuff was
Yeah.
legit reactions from people.
Hey, I gotta go. Thanks for taking care of her, Dad. She loves having you around.
Hit it at the bottom of the ball. Really?
That looks fun.
Your mom ever tell you it's your old papa home on the greatest amusement parks of all time? Those days were different. There weren't so many rules. Your mom would come for the summer. Boogie.
Hi.
Oh, baby doll. Even back then, she was the voice of reason.
You're the lifeguard. Shouldn't we be facing the water?
Let God sort him out.
What's our attendance today?
I love Lonnie's laughs so much, and when Johnny's.
Suppose you probably heard you got some competition in town. They got roller coasters and a chairlift that actually works.
This is our home. We can't just let somebody take it.
Damn it! Ugh. What this place needs is an excitement enema. We're gonna make this place fast and loose. Every ride, every attraction, no rules, no speed limits, just pure fun.
That sounds kind of dangerous.
Let's see what this baby can do. The new action point is now open. Free beer for everybody.
Real stunts.
With the fire hose to the dick.
We need something to do with these little asses. Like the petting zoo. Hold my beer.
Oh my god.
There's more where that came from. When I was younger, I could do 4 of these at a time.
Oh shit!
Oh my god.
So I'm in for the stunts all around.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
that's dope. I'm in.
So, you know, Mike and I have been fans of that stuff forever, and I know you actually really liked Bad Grandpa and stuff and kind of got into that sort of thing, so I need to be right up your alley too.
Ugh. Real stunts, huh?
It's Bad Grandpa, dude.
Yeah.
It's basically Bad Grandpa, in a sense.
Yeah,
More
like it definitely
scripted.
feels like that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna look at it.
Everybody's
Or
always,
look at it.
always
I'm gonna watch
asking.
it.
Yeah. So what do you mean? You're on the fence? You're in.
I'm gonna watch it.
Everybody
yeah.
always asks for a new Jackass movie, and I think that that is played out. That concept is played out. I think this is a good way to go with it, where you lightly script something around the goofiness.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to see Chris Pontius stick his dick through a hole and have a snake bite it. I don't want to see that anymore. Like, that's just, there's no context. It's just,
Right.
I don't know.
So they've
for
done
fun.
some of these stunts before.
What do you mean?
The one,
Well,
the one I just named was a legit thing that actually
Yeah.
happened.
Oh,
Well, you're seeing the point. What I'm saying is, on the movie, all the stunts are legit.
those
Yeah.
are all them doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, fuck, man.
It's like Bad Grandpa, though.
Yeah, but they're doing a shit. It's a lot
Yeah.
worse.
I mean, Bad Grandpa was more like, I think some people didn't know they were filming a movie.
Yes.
Whereas
Yeah.
this is a movie, and it's Jackass. And
That bear can't be
one.
real though.
Yes.
It was probably real.
Yes. They've used live big animals like that
Yeah.
before.
Like Wild Boys on MTV.
Yeah.
Rick, your whole world would open up if you just fucking watched the Jackass
I
movies.
can't
You
watch
never
people in
had.
pain.
Dude, it's
I
crazy.
feel bad for them.
My
No,
favorite.
it's
I know they're
hilarious.
doing it willingly, and I just don't understand.
My favorite one Jackass stunt of all time is they have the sign up with the font getting smaller, and as people get closer, it would fucking punch them in the face.
I saw
That
that.
is
I've
fucking
seen that
best.
one. That was
That one is good.
hilarious.
I think that starts off 3, right?
No.
Is it 2?
It's 2
Okay.
because 3 is the fucking big hand slap.
Oh, see, I like that,
That
one.
one's too-
I like
that
that
one's
one.
good, too.
No, I like that hand one a lot. It's so good.
My favorite one with the punch through the wall is Wee Man because he has to get up on a fucking stool to read the
Yeah.
note, and he's getting closer and closer to see the tiny font, and as he gets like this close, it just boom and knocks him completely off the stool.
Rick,
I've seen that.
We're doing that. We gotta have. You have to. Of all the movies you've made me watch, you have to. Like, this isn't me making you watch a clown movie.
I also have the entire Jackass series DVD
Yeah.
compilation too. And if you don't like that, I have the Viva La Bam stuff, which is a little bit tamer and a
Right.
little bit more family friendly.
You gotta see the movie. Some of the shit that you laugh at the hardest on the try not to laugh stuff is the shit
Yeah.
where people end up getting hurt. You. So come on, you'd love it. Open up your world.
Yeah,
I guess.
So, anyways, not I guess you're on it. Action Point, June 1st.
that looks good. I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm obviously
Yeah,
in.
you're in.
Yeah, you're in.
We'll drag you to it if we have to.
I don't think we have to. I think it's okay.
Yeah. I didn't see Bad Grandpa in theaters. I ended up seeing it later on cable. But goddamn, that's a funny movie.
You and I went to a screening of it. Right?
Yeah.
And Jeff
Bad
Tremaine,
Grandpa?
Yeah.
Jeff
Yeah.
Tremaine was there.
We went to Paramount Studios to
Yeah.
see it.
That was cool.
That was a lot of fun. All right, we went to Paramount Studios.
Goddamn hipster.
I
went to a fucking screening with
So,
the director.
You want me to do it for you?
Yeah.
So Cheesy is asking, we said after the series of trailers, but Rick seems to be wanting to do it now. I want to know what you guys think of the rumors. I'm going to tell you straight up, I know nothing of any of this. Revolving around rebooting Teen Titans, original for the 6th season.
Okay, the reason why I might as well just bring this up now is because I haven't seen them either. I haven't watched Teen Titans, unfortunately. You?
Here is a controversial statement. I don't fucking like Teen Titans.
Oh, I was gonna for a second I thought you said I've watched Teen Titans.
No, I don't like Teen Titans.
That would have surprised the
Fuck
hell out
Teen
of me.
Titans. I don't like it.
You watched the cartoon?
Yeah, I tried to. I don't like it.
I haven't even seen it.
Yeah, it's
Nah, I don't
it's
like
fine.
it.
I know a lot of people love it. I just don't like it.
I'm gonna follow
He's
you.
unfollowing.
I'm sorry.
Well, I've never watched it, so I can't really give an opinion.
I love you, Cheesy. I just don't like Teen Titans.
But yeah, I just might as well bring it up now because I've never seen it, so I'd have to give it a shot.
I mean, maybe if they fucking changed the hokey vibe of it and made it a little bit less hokey, I'd be into
I think
it.
it's intended for kids.
I understand that, but so this is my same problem with video games for kids. Oh, it's a kids game. Yeah, but that doesn't mean it has to be fucking shitty. You don't have kids are smarter than they get credit for.
Forget that comment. I'll have to watch it because I wouldn't know.
You know what? It's been a very long time. Maybe I'll go back and try and watch it again. Maybe I'll have a different perspective on it now.
I got too much shit to
But
watch.
Mike then was out.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm surprised I never even gave it a shot back in the day. Just because, like, that's usually my thing.
It's a cartoon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
To be fair, like, I haven't seen fucking the Dietrich Bader Batman either. Which one was that? Not Beyond.
Oh, the Batman.
No.
Isn't it called The Batman?
No. It was... fuck.
I know which one you're talking about,
Yeah.
though. I watched some of it. It was actually not bad.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of it, but I've never actually sat down to watch the whole thing.
I
And
watched
know it's
2
actually
episodes,
pretty
and
good.
it was alright.
Yeah.
It was alright.
Dietrich Bader's got a great voice.
Yeah, I think his voice
Yeah.
was perfect.
Yeah. Fuck, I just looked this up the other day, too, because me and Alexis were talking about it. But I can't think of it. Oh, well. Maybe Cheesy will help us out. But yeah, I've just never been a fan. I know it's a controversial statement, but hey. You come here for the hot takes. You don't come here for breaking news.
Exactly. All right. So
I'd be down to give it a shot if they did a reboot. Check it out.
So, next trailer
Okay.
we have here is for a trailer. I haven't watched it. I just saw that it stars Margot Robbie and Simon Pegg.
Okay.
And it's called The Terminal, which
No, it's just called Terminal. So
Oh,
either it's gonna
not
be an
the
airport-
terminal.
It's either
Not the
be an
terminal.
airport or someone's got a terminal disease.
Right.
not
If it
The
was-
Terminal with Tom Hanks.
If it was The Terminal, it would be an airplane movie. But Terminal...
It could still go either way.
Well, Tom Hanks was in a movie called The Terminal.
Was it called The Terminal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned.
What do you want? You want money?
I know.
Whatever you want.
Oh, that is a very poor choice of words.
I am Mr. Franklin. I have an offer. I want you to kill someone for me.
Black briefcase in a locker. That is a job for Mr. Franklin. This is massive.
No trains till tomorrow. 404 going north.
404 is an age away. It's not time that I'm trying to kill.
Want my advice?
Not really.
Just end it. I'll set them on one another like starving rats in a cage, and you can watch through the bars.
Bang.
I'm here for information. Maybe a filthy lap dance if I can get one.
He always is rude.
Pretty much, yeah.
Follow me down the rabbit hole.
Who says mysteries are lost art, eh? What's wrong with you?
I have an unquenchable bloodlust for darkness. To imminent death.
Oh, my God.
Come back again soon, handsome. Don't bring him.
Wow.
I'm in.
Yeah, I would definitely check that out.
I just purely based on the aesthetics. I love the look. I love the
Yeah.
sound. Like, I'm in on that.
I mean, plus
It looks like it was
we
shot
all
really nice.
Generally love Simon Pegg, so that's a.
I thought you were gonna say we all generally love Margot Robbie. Also,
No, well, I don't know if that's a universal thing with us
I mean,
yet.
it's pretty universal. Unless you're the odd man out here.
No,
Okay.
just wondering.
Looks interesting, that's for sure. I didn't even know that was Mike Myers.
That's pretty cool.
I didn't either.
I'm into that. I'm
Looks like he
definitely
has
into that.
prosthetics or something on.
Oh, once they said his name, I recognized him. I
Yeah.
was like, oh,
Yeah.
that is him.
Also, Mike Myers is fucking old now, dude.
Yeah.
He's an old guy now.
But he's Canadian. They age usually pretty well. Blue
What's
Jay
up,
Gaming
Blue Jay Gaming?
Oh, what's up, Jay?
is here. It looks interesting. I want to see it.
Yeah.
Like you said, like the looks of it, the aesthetics, the neon signs. It almost
Yeah.
like has this like Sin City cross vibe to it.
Yeah, like Sin City, except not shitty. Also, hot take.
Sin City's not that
Sin
bad.
City. Yeah, I wasn't. Jay, you just missed the gaming block, bro. You'll have to watch later.
Well, that's your friend, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ben's friend from
Ben's
New
friend,
Mexico.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Simon Pegg?
Yes.
Plus Simon Pegg, yeah. We
Yeah.
usually watch everything with Simon Pegg.
I like him a lot. I think this movie looks really cool. It looks cool. It sounds cool. The concept seems pretty rad. I'm in.
Same. That's it, right? Just trailers.
Trailers, yeah, that's it.
Now we go into the big number,
Yes.
the big showstopper.
Well,
Yes.
are we gonna actually talk about the other show? Roseanne?
Oh yeah. Let's do
Oh,
it first. I totally forgot about that. All right. So we all watched the Roseanne revival, if you want to call it that. The not rebooting, but the continuation. What did y'all think?
Well, I've kind of watched the original. I guess I'll go first. I kind of watched the original back in the day, on and off. I wasn't per se like a big fan of it.
I love that show.
But I did watch it. Like I pretty much watched most of like the pivotal episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't recall all of them.
Right.
But
What kind of fan are you?
I just thought I was
Every episode?
I don't know.
Come on, Rick.
And Joss Whedon wrote one episode. Shit.
Oh God, did he? It's probably a shitty
Yeah.
one.
He was the script doctor on it.
Mm-hmm. It's probably the one where they killed Dan.
No, it wasn't. Roseanne actually wrote that episode.
I know.
I'm
just being a dick.
So yeah, the revival. I liked the first episode. I thought it was a little bumpy, but for the most part, I enjoyed the top it made me feel like it never changed.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And,
so keep in mind they basically showed 2 episodes back to back in one block.
Yeah, I watched both of them.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean I enjoyed it. I really dug the second episode more than the first one.
That to me, that second episode, that's Roseanne.
That is Roseanne.
Was
yeah.
fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I really liked the second half of that. I really did not care for the first half because for the same reason I don't care for the first episodes of any revivals where it's like, here's all the nostalgia. And hopefully they got it all out of their system because the second episode it seemed like they did.
Yeah.
And I think there's other revival shows that did not get away from that. And as long
Fuller
as
House.
they've gotten away from that and got it out of their system, I think the show's going to be awesome going forward. But that first episode, it was fine. And there was some funny stuff. Like the shrine to Jackie, like she died in line of duty.
That was
or
fucking
something.
hilarious.
That shit was funny.
I laughed like Rick laughed when I saw that. That was fucking funny. But as far as like the nostalgia thing, like I think if done well, it can be great.
Yeah.
Boy Meets World, Girl Meets World did it well, in my opinion.
I think in the later episodes they started hinging on it too much, where it was like, let's recreate this episode with the girls now. Let's redo this with the girls now. That first season, after the first episode of that first season, is fucking lights out of Girl Meets World. It's so good.
Agree. But there's a way to handle it, is what I'm
Yes.
trying to say. And Roseanne the second episode seemed to handle that pretty fucking well. I enjoyed it. The second episode a lot more than the first one, as I already said.
Yeah.
And I'm hooked. I'm in.
Were you a big Roseanne fan early
So,
on?
No.
No? Okay.
Not that I wasn't a fan, I just didn't watch the show.
Okay.
But I watched this because just the whole idea of it I found interesting. Because Girl Meets World was a thing which, I mean, conceptually I think is amazing. It's like you're still getting the same core characters and now they're raising a daughter. that makes a lot of sense. Fuller House, I guess, same thing, although I think it's just more of a stretch with their concept. I think Girl Meets World fit a little bit nicer. But what I found interesting about this is literally just them bringing back the show as it was.
Mm-hmm.
And so I saw the commercials and I'm like, I'm curious. I think it's cool. Like, they all look pretty damn good, you know what I mean? And like, it's really interesting to see a show just come back and have them just try to start where they left off, or just continue on.
Pick up like nothing changed.
Right, like it's not like some new twist on it or whatever. So I thought, I guess that's kind of probably how people who are fans of what's the show that came back to Netflix?
Fuller House?
No, Banana Stand.
Oh, Arrested Development.
So I guess that's probably how people of that show felt.
But it wasn't 20 years.
Not 20 years.
Yeah, it wasn't 20 years, but at the same time, though, they had a problem where none of them can be in the same place at the same time, so they green screened parts of it, which didn't really look great. And honestly, for the most part, like, it was okay.
I gotta say, when Roseanne opened up on the living room, like, I felt so many things, man. Like, I won't say I got fucking misty or anything like that, but like, it felt weird and cool to see that living room look exactly like it did 25 years ago, like
right.
I loved that show. I love that we are 3 different takes on the original. I loved that show. I watched every episode, even the shitty last season, and watched those episodes more than once in syndication later on. I probably could tell you what happened in every episode if you jog my memory a little bit. I love that original show.
Yeah.
And the first episode, while I laughed a little bit, and there was like the stuff with having Jackie's picture on the wall, like she died in duty or line of duty or something, like that was good. Mm-hmm. Some of the stuff with Dan going to the garage, that was good. The open of the show with him with the CPAP machine on, like the sleep apnea machine and everything,
right.
That was really good. But I really felt like that first episode was, here's what everybody thinks this show is gonna be, so let's fucking make fun of that. Because a lot of people are judging the show based on something Roseanne Barr, the person, said in real life. And I like that they brought that into the show, but I think that first episode hinged on it way too much. And I was super happy that got all taken care of in that first episode, that first 30 minutes, and pulled back. I love the kids, Darlene's kids. Those kids are awesome. And,
Darlene is
Sarah
Gilbert. Yeah. The one that's playing her daughter is in a show that I watch on Showtime called Shameless.
Oh, she's in that? Okay.
Yeah, I fucking love Shameless. Is amazing.
Yeah.
But anyways, she's perfect to play her daughter. I was like, dang.
Yeah, it looks like it could be her daughter,
shit,
for real. Yeah.
It's amazing.
And I like, because like the first show tackled shit that was happening in real life in a very non-badgering way. Like, that the original show had something to say about society, and I love that they're bringing that aspect back, and I like that this show has something to say. And the problem I think it's going to encounter is that there's going to be people that don't like what it has to say, and they're going to fly off the handle, and they're going to get on one side or the other. But I really like that this show has something to say, and even if I don't like it, there's something to be said about tackling real life issues in a very non-combative, like down the middle lane kind of way.
Yeah.
And they did that. They obviously are going to pick sides on certain subjects, but they did a very good job of not beating you over the head with a message.
And I like that it's not gonna do that, or at least it doesn't seem like it.
If it stays the course, yeah.
Yeah. Fuck, I had something good to say and I can't remember what the fuck it was.
While you're thinking, so again, for me, like I'm not invested,
mm-hmm.
but what brought me again was, I guess for me it was the spectacle of it.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, like, and I liked what I saw. I don't know if I'll keep watching this because I don't have so Dan is John Goodman, right?
Yeah.
He actually died?
He in the later seasons of the last episode ends with Roseanne like pulling out of like the final season. Roseanne's writing a book, and in the book she writes in the show, Dan Connor has a heart attack in the show, but in that last season is still that he lives, But when they pull out of that last
The book
episode,
reviews,
she's
yeah.
writing the book, and in real life, they don't win the lottery, and in real life, he died after the heart attack, and all that stuff.
Okay.
But
So they're just
they walked it back. They walked it back. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So they still didn't win the lottery because that was a thing of the last season, which made them like a relatable family for Middle America and everywhere actually. Made them completely unrelatable and basically killed the fucking show. That's what killed the show.
Yeah.
And they were having a lot of internal issues with Roseanne and John Goodman and the producers and writers. Like everybody was fighting that last season, and last 2 seasons actually. So it was really weird that they were able to all get back together for this shit.
They're on Howard Stern this week.
But they're completely ignoring that he dies, and they're ignoring basically the last
joke
season.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah, they made a nice funny
that's
joke
fine.
about it.
Yeah,
That's cool.
That was fun.
So yeah, like for me, the spectacle is what brought me in.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if I'll keep watching. Like I don't know if it's must see TV for me. Maybe because I just don't.
Yeah.
I just never watched the other. But it doesn't mean I couldn't do that. What I think is interesting is just the idea of this like a show in this style. What is old is kind of new again because there's so many shows that aren't just like this is filmed in front of a live studio audience. Like it's that old
I
style.
love that
like,
touch. Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like a lot of the newer, even funny shows right now aren't that way. You're just watching it and there isn't the canned laughter. Like this is actually like a throwback.
And if there
in
is,
more ways than one.
and if there is a canned laughter, it's actual canned laughter and not live laughter.
Right. Right. So
No, they shoot actually in front of live studios.
Some of them, yeah.
But yeah, like there are a lot of shows like have no laughter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's just not what they're doing anymore. I mean, I guess.
Well, Arrested Development was that way.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just those shows have become less and less and less. So it's cool to see that like that part of it's interesting too. But yeah, no, like I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
I really liked that second episode. Man.
My version of this for me would be like if Seinfeld came back. Like that's for me. Like that would be awesome for me. But yeah, that's cool for the Roseanne fans.
I remember what I was gonna say. The writers in the show, or at least the main writers in the show, is Whitney Cummings.
She's like executive producer also, yeah.
And the writer, and Norm Macdonald, and Wanda Sykes.
Yeah.
So they're the head of the team, which I think is
Wanda Sykes.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. You totally said Wanda Sykes.
I'm sorry, Wanda. Wanda
Well, I was
Sykes.
thinking like Sykes. That seems so familiar.
Yeah, Wanda Sykes. Which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
As long as
all of them are funny.
As long as Roseanne keeps her pen out of the writing, which is something that happened towards the end of the original run, is she started writing more and more of the episodes, and that's kind of where it fell apart. So as long as she keeps out of the writing, man, like I thought it was written really well, man. I like Norm Macdonald, I like Wanda Sykes, and I like Whitney Cummings, even though she got a lot of flack from people. Like everybody liked her when she was an underground female comedian, but then once she got her development deal and got her TV show and started producing stuff, it's like, oh, she's not a real comedian. She's just a hot girl that got all these. No, she's a funny comedian that turns out to be hot. Like, get over it. She's funny. She wouldn't have gotten the job she got if she wasn't funny.
Exactly.
And I think she's very funny, and you can hear her voice in the writing of the show, and I really dig that there is a, like, between her and Wanda Sykes, there is a strong female voice that you fucking hear in the writing of the show.
I think between her and Wanda Sykes, they got the that experience they need to write for that show.
And Norm Macdonald is just straight up funny.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I'm really digging it.
That guy's
and
weird, but in a good way. Weird, fucking funny. Yeah.
I hope that it stays the course and they continue on the path they've laid down with that second episode, because that was so good.
Do you know if they're gonna do a full like 22 episodes, or are they doing? Like,
I think it's 8
like
episodes right now. I think it's 8 episodes right
8
now.
episodes?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think. I'm not sure. Bryce is checking. I'm not sure what the run is, but I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying what I'm saying.
There's stuff I want them to touch
It's
on.
already been renewed.
Okay, yeah, I think it was just a small run that they initially bought. So
that would make sense because that turnaround time was pretty damn fast.
Less than a year.
Yeah, I was like, they just talked about it. I swear last year.
It was less than a year from when John Goodman was on
The Talk,
and when they did the skit. It was like 3 months. It took them like 3 or 4 months to get people on board, and then it went into development.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty quick, man.
Yeah, I heard some of, like I said, Roseanne Barr and John Goodman were on Howard Stern this week. I heard some of it. It was really good. I want to hear more of it, though.
I might have to check that out.
Let me see. So
but
9 episodes.
Okay, 9.
9. Okay. That's good. See, I don't even mind if they do something like that.
So 8 more
where
weeks
keep
because they showed 2 episodes. 7 more weeks or whatever, yeah.
Like, I wouldn't mind if they keep it even like a small, like 13 episode run. Like
Yeah.
maybe every year. Or
I don't think
like
it has
that.
to be 32
I don't
episodes
think it
or
needs to
whatever.
be like
yeah.
22,
or 20
24.
or whatever,
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because 30 minutes, especially in TV, isn't even really 30 minutes. So.
It's 22. So.
Yeah.
And it'll probably take them like maybe 4 hours of film, depending.
But I really, really dug the second part. I'm glad it got away from that shit in the first episode quickly.
Yeah.
But I really, really enjoyed it. I hope they touch on stuff they didn't touch on. Obviously, they're going to.
Oh, they're going
but,
to. You know they are.
Yeah. I really
they
like.
don't hold back.
I really like bringing back the other Becky as.
Oh, that's what I was going to mention too. Like the way they brought her back into the family was fucking interesting. But they seem to make it work.
Yeah, definitely.
And the part where she explains to the family what she's doing and like the way Dan gets mad is like fucking classic.
Yeah, it's good shit.
John Goodman acting like it's
classic
good.
Roseanne skit.
Classic Roseanne.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's
I'm in.
good.
I'm really excited. I'm gonna keep watching and hopefully they, like I said, stay the course because it definitely is an awesome path they're setting.
I love how they like 100% recreated the opening of the show
Yep.
too.
Yeah.
You know, and still like have that laughter in there where it
Yeah.
seems like it's not bullshit. Like they actually were like something was happening and
Yeah.
Like they're actually cooking a breakfast and
it's
shit's
really
going down. Yeah.
And that was like an innovative opening because it's a one shot, just a slow pan around the kitchen, and that's all it is. But yeah, I love it. I'm in.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
So is that gonna wrap us up? For this week's episode of Some Shit We Like, episode number 266.
Pick up sticks.
Yeah, let's not go the route that I went.
The Waterboy was on today, and like when she goes back in 1966, pick up sticks.
That movie's so good.
Yeah.
Whew, it's getting hot in here, so let's get out of here.
Yeah.
So that's gonna do it for this week's episode.
Yep.
Of Some Shit We Like. Follow us on Twitter at Some Shit We Like. And don't forget to follow us here on Twitch. Once you're watching on YouTube, and give us a little subscription, and you get to see us 4 days out of the week.
Yeah. If you're unfamiliar with how the show goes, Tuesdays the audio goes up, podcast services everywhere, iTunes, whatever. Still RSS feed if we're not there because it'll pick it up. Tuesdays through Thursdays, there's clips on YouTube, sometimes 2 on Thursdays. And Friday is the full show on YouTube. And yeah, it's
and then we stream on Saturdays as you're watching us now. So, until next time, guys.
I need that Zemeckis cue.